baby!
Try this on for size! Hello! Order up! Bring the kisser!
Oh, man.
What to make of Disney Infinity?
Well, I'll be.
Half of it is great, half of it is not. On one hand, you have the Toy Box, a gleefully entertaining shared space where you and a friend or three can mess around with your playthings. On the other hand are the included playsets, which are sloppy, glitchy messes that make the most fundamental design errors. The Disney Infinity experience is all about ups and downs. Like Skylanders, Infinity is as much about collecting toy figures as it is about playing a game. Your initial purchase includes 3 figurines, one each from the Disney worlds that make up the game's campaigns, called playsets. To play, you set a plastic bauble and a figurine on a tray you plug into your console. The 3 figures you initially receive get you started, but you soon learn that enjoying most of Infinity's content means forking over cash for new figures and other trinkets. The figures are solidly constructed and remarkably detailed. They're a delight to look at, and because placing a figure on the stand associates it with your own game, you get a strong sense of ownership. After Infinity's introduction, you land in the Toy Box and have to poke around a bit to figure out what to do next. You'll probably want to explore one of the playsets first to unlock some toys. The game comes with playsets based on The Incredibles, Monster U, and Pirates of the Caribbean. You can only explore a playset with a character from that world, so you can't tool around at Monsters University as Mr. Incredible. Whichever playset you start with, however, you'll stumble on poor game design at every turn. If you play as Randles in Monster U, you take missions from yourself. If you play as Syndrome in the Incredibles playset, the main villain you fight is you. The lack of TLC starts here, but it sure doesn't end here. The Incredibles adventure has you romping through the open city, performing odd jobs for Edna Mode and the like, while fending off robots that constantly spawn near you, sometimes in the middle of the air. Infinity's combat is shallow, but still entertaining. But this playset's need to drop enemies at your feet every 10 seconds is a hassle, with robots shooting you down when you just want to climb. Nor is it fun to deal with broken waypoints, or the game letting you take damage even when you're in the middle of dialogue and can't do anything about it.
And not a moment too soon. There's only seconds left. Go ahead. Show us that winning score.
Over at Monsters University, some of the details are adorable, like the way fellow students giggle when you punch them. But broken visual cues hit hard here, as do the bullies that annoy you when you just want to open the gift-wrapped toys that you're delivered. The Pirates of the Caribbean playset is the best of the 3, making it fun to sail through the waters and engage in ship combat. But even here, missions will break and you can fall through the world. Standalone missions for each character have problems too, beyond being unimaginative. For instance, in Randall's mission, there's a big piece of floor just missing. You might be tempted to skip the playsets, but they're the best way of unlocking content for the Toy Box. And it's in the Toy Box that Disney Infinity soars. It's a magical example of what happens when you let players come together and express their imaginations. Don't mistake Disney Infinity as a game creation tool like Little Big Planet. Instead, this really is a free-for-all world you can invite up to 3 friends to, where you place objects, enemies, and all sorts of other toys using a logical interface. And then, you make up your own rules as you go. You might start with small ideas like racing on tracks you lay out, but things can grow out of control in fantastic ways. And suddenly you have a combat arena of death with turrets and spike traps and launchers. Put shrinking pads on racetracks and watch hilarity ensue. Set up cannons to shoot out of and rails to grind on, or attach your buddy to the back of your car and tow him around. Disney Infinity's griefing potential is enormous, terrifying, and wonderful. Yet even the toy box doesn't escape trouble. The frame rate can drop to a crawl or even make you think the game is frozen for a moment. And then there's how you have to unlock so many of the toys with a random spin, hoping for something that helps you make madness with your buddies only to get a tree you didn't care about. Few games are so erratically constructed, and yet the toy box has that special spark that can have you screaming in laughter when you have a friend along to join you. But whether you're interested in Disney Infinity for yourself or your youngsters, exercise caution. This is not always the Magic Kingdom you were expecting.
Well, that was embarrassing.